When you enter into a time of prayer, do you often find yourself distracted or even unsure of where to start? Today, we're going to talk about the practice of a centering prayer. So centering prayer is a focused and extended time of prayer that should awaken each of us to the noise, the chaos, the distractions, the thoughts, the feelings, the desires that we experience in order to increase our capacity to dwell with God by attending to his presence. The point of centering prayer is to simply be with God. You practice the disciplines as a way of offering yourself to God, opening your head, your soul, your heart to him, so that you grow in greater love for, devotion to, and intimacy with him. And as a side note, when you practice any sort of spiritual discipline, you are not doing so for the purposes of coercing God to some grand and glorious experience. I want to read to you from Psalms 62:1. God, the one and only, I'll wait as long as he says. Everything I need comes from him, so why not? Let's go ahead and walk through what it might look like for you to engage in a centering prayer. And a centering prayer is not only for our souls to be centered, but it's also a physical response so that we are prepared to sit and meet with Jesus. So to get started, find a time and a space where you are alone, where you are unhurried. Maybe it's a favorite chair, a favorite space in your home. Pick a spot that is quiet where you can be comfortable. Maybe you set a timer, you start this at 5 minutes and you work your way up to 30 minutes. Set your feet on the floor, really ground yourself in a good position and a good space. Then, once you're settled, take a moment to just inhale a few times and exhale a few times. Inhale 45 seconds through your nose, and then exhale for 10. Do that a few times, and then once you're ready to move forward, I want you to just close your eyes for a moment. And what I want you to do is picture yourself in a space. Maybe it's a beach, the mountains, maybe it's your favorite coffee shop. And as you sit in that space, I want you to think about a word or a phrase. Maybe something comes to mind for you. Maybe it's a phrase like, the Lord is my shepherd, or maybe it's a simple word like grace, healing, freedom. Once you identify that word, I want you to keep that in mind because that is going to be what you come back to throughout your prayer. Once you have your word, once you can picture that space, then I want you to imagine Jesus entering the scene. I want you to imagine him walking to you and sitting beside you. And I want you to just pause and embrace that moment. Then you might have thoughts or emotions that begin to enter your mind because of all the things that are going on in your life, and that's okay. That's normal. What I want you to do is for each one of those thoughts, for each one of those emotions, I want you to imagine yourself placing them in front of Jesus so that he can protect them, hold them, and take care of them for you. And then I want you to come back to that word or that phrase. During the rest of your time, I just want you to sit and embrace being in the presence of Jesus. What might he have for you? What might he want to reveal or share with you in that moment? When your time is up, I want you to allow yourself to come out of that prayer slowly and then simply close your time with just a note of thanksgiving, a thankfulness and a gratitude for the time that you had with God, or you might even recite the Lord's Prayer. As you practice this centering prayer approach, simply open yourself up to the Lord, accepting whatever he would give you from your time together. The process of this and the fruit that comes from this is worth it. And in all of this, we learn to trust the work of the Holy Spirit. I want you to ask him to sanctify your imagination. Trust that he is with you. Trust that he's working within you to help you draw closer to him. My hope is that you learn to trust God more deeply and to rest in the center of his divine and perfect love for you. May your soul be awakened to his presence so that you might experience the peace that goes beyond your understanding knowing that in all things it is well within your soul.
Beautiful.